of November and pick up your free draw ticket. No purchase necessary.
Dare you sleep alone tonight?
Fright Night is back.
It's coming towards us.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Can you see it?
See it.
Oh, this lets us in the fog.
This year's Halloween Fright Night on Brmb is bigger and better than ever.
We'll be live from the Galleries of Justice, Nottingham's 200-year-old prison home to many evil spirits.
And I'll be live from Dudley Castle for my third encounter with the Grey Lady.
Do you spook easily?
We have a lot of spirit in here.
Oh, there's a thing right in front of you!
Hello, Caroline, where are you?
Brmb Fright Night.
Tonight from 10.
Trick or treat!
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice. Brmb Fright Night.
It's Halloween and it's BRMB with another Fright Night live from the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham, and of course we have Kevin over at Dudley Castle as well. I'm Caroline Martin, joined as well by Dave Matthews.
Hello there.
How are you feeling so far?
Slightly hoarse actually at this moment in time, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay, then we'll find out why he's hoarse. We've got Andy, who's lingering around somewhere. Janet Crawford, our other psychic, she's somewhere else in the building, and of course Jay.
Hello, I'm here as usual. Worried, nervous. This place is great. It's like just the best museum. Been a prison and a courthouse since the 14th century, over 3 centuries of just death, punishment, crime, criminals, you name it's been here.
And we're about to discover just exactly what has happened. Hopefully, Dave's going to pick up on stuff. Janet's going to pick up on it tonight as well. I've not done any research into this. I've just come here, didn't know what to expect. It's an absolutely fantastic place, though, isn't it? Absolutely.
It's great. I mean, it's all decked out, like, you know, all these museums, they've got exhibitions going on, and it's a very menacing place anyway. But the bits that we're going to be going to tonight are, I think, off limits for a few people, but we're going to see what's happening.
We're breaking through there. And of course, we've got Carly as well. Carly's going to be coming round. What exactly is your role here at the Galleries of Justice then, Carly?
I'm actually an educational facilitator here, but I also do the acting work and everything. So pretty used to the history here in the building and what it was actually used for.
Okay, so anything that Dave, Janet, or anyone actually picks up on, you can tell us if people have picked up on it before, or if there's a ring of truth to any of it then.
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously we've had hundreds of prisoners here, but we do know quite a few of the names and things. So if anything does come up, I know quite a few of the different investigations have been here before and what they picked up on, so I could substantiate at least some of it, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, we'll be hearing from Carly a little bit later on then, and hopefully somewhere over the other side of the region we've got the lovely Kevin Paschbe. Hello, Kevin.
Hello. I get the inside places and I get the freezing cold outside places.
I know, it's lovely here, I tell you. But, I mean, this is the 3rd year running on Halloween that you've gone back to Dudley. The question has to be asked, why?
Well, I can tell you, we've been here for an hour and a half already, if not longer, and we've been having a good look around. We've got a new person joining us on Fright Night tonight, Pauline Morgan, a new psychic, and I can tell you, Dudley Castle and the area around the castle, we've been to areas that not even you've been to on previous Fright Nights, and it is already a hive of activity. We've met the Grey Lady already, and we've met a servant who served Charles I, and we've also been back to the cottage with some funny revelations going on down there as well. It's a very windy, blustery night here at the castle. Very strange feeling, the feeling that we had on the very first visit here 2 years ago. We're here totally on our own. There's probably about 6 of us. Nobody else is around the castle, and already people have been poked in the back. People have been felt sick, not me, I can add to that. And there is just already a very, very, very strange feeling here at the castle. There was a series of events before we actually got into the castle of things preventing us getting in here. Strange things like cars being parked across the gates that no one knew whose car it was, and then the car just wasn't there when we came back out of the pub shortly after a drink. So I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it. But it's just an eerie feeling. I really wish that there was other people here with me. We have got Pauline and a team of other people here. We've got David, who is one of the experts from Dudley Castle. Already, we've been amazed at what Pauline has picked up, and Dave has confirmed that what she is saying is absolutely spot on without any leading or resuscitation. We've been recording this because unfortunately we can't bring you those bits live tonight, but we're going to try and hook up with Pauline on the mobile throughout the evening. But maybe in the following nights we can play a few of the recordings that we've made down here already.
Now, last year, what I want you to look out for tonight as well, Kevin, is, you know, when we went up the steps of the tower last year and there was that handprint that was actually there in the sand, but it was raised outwards, if you like, and a load of people got scratched as well when they actually came down the tower without knowing about it until they got down the bottom. Has that happened tonight?
We haven't actually been over to the tower area. As we came into the castle, Pauline picked up on the energies of an elderly man who was being brought here from Sherwood Forest for stealing some of the royalty's livestock, and he's being brought here to meet his death. That's been confirmed by David here, the historian, that used to happen. And the area that Pauline was drawn to straight away was our favourite area of last year, which is the Undercroft area, which is locked up at the moment, but she was drawn straight to the door of that, away from the tower. She's already told me tonight she doesn't really want to go up the tower. As we were coming up to the castle, children surrounded her and were telling her, don't go by the tower, there's a nasty man with a stick, and he's cloaked. And she's got the feeling of that man being up the tower, and he's not going to want us to go up the tower. But you know what that means? We're going to go up.
You're going to go up there, aren't you, Kev? You are a sucker
anyway.
for punishment.
Yeah.
It's all kicking off in Dudley Castle. Sounds as though it's all happening already. We will cross to you at some points during the night as well, and we'll find out what's going on. It's weird. We've come into two sites, and both sites seem to be just, you know, whether it's just a myth, this whole Halloween thing that heightens it, but I don't know. It always happens every single year.
I mean, let's ask Dave. I mean, Halloween, what is so special about Halloween?
Well, Halloween is the time when the veil between this world and the next is at its thinnest, so there are more spirits abroad traditionally on Halloween than any other time of the year. So if it is going to be active, Halloween is definitely the night that there's things going to happen. And
do you feel that you're going to encounter a lot in here tonight?
I think so. There's an awful lot of souls in this place. There's a lot of people that have passed through, a lot of people that have died here. The site goes back an awful long time, hundreds and hundreds of years, and I think that there's an awful lot that we'll discover here this evening. Okay, well, look, we've only got until midnight, so let's crack on and go down to the first part that we're going to be discovering tonight. Is the bathhouse and laundry. A lot has been noted about this particular area, so we're going to sort of like lead you down there first then, Dave. And
this is kind of like a labyrinth of stairwells and walkways, and all the brickwork's crumbling as we come to expect with these locations, and the lights are completely off. We've got a couple of people ahead of us with torches that are guiding our way, and it's we're getting down to the laundry area of the prison, which has had previous bits of activity happening.
Okay, we're walking through the door now. We're actually in the laundry room. And to our left is the prison bath.
I'm quite warm.
All I can smell is carbolic, and then I look down and I see a great big chunk of soap there, so that would account for that. What are you picking up in here?
It's very strange in here because obviously the smell that you can, the overriding smell is the chunk of soap that is here, the carbolic smell. But if you actually stand still, it's slightly odd. The building is very strange in all sorts of ways, but there's almost like a bit of a humid level in here. It's quite strange, and there's an underlying smell that isn't the carbolic smell, and it's a smell of I don't know. I'll give me a few moments to come up with that. But the underlying smell is something that's quite stronger, and I can't quite pick that up at the moment.
Okay, let's have a wander around in here a bit then. Walking down here a bit further.
There's a number of chambers on my right-hand side, which, I mean, obviously they're decked out for the purposes of the museum, but there would be cubicles of some sort changing. I don't know.
Well, the feeling here is that this was very much almost like a reception area where they came into the museum, the prison, and that this is where they would come in at the very beginning of their time here and their stay here. And the peculiar thing about it is it's almost a humiliation kind of thing here. It's very much a make sure that they're not, I want to say, infested with bugs and things somehow. That's what they've got. That's what they're having here. It's almost like they're being hosed down somehow. Not
right behind you. You've got
word.
your back to it, but there is something called a fumigation chamber. Apparently, the clothes of all the new prisoners had to be fumigated with smoke to kill all the vermin. The prisoners then put them on correct prison uniform, and then they proceed to the medical officer. And over here in this corner where the carbolic is, it's the prison bath. All the new prisoners had to have a tepid bath to remove filth. Soap had to be used. Every prisoner then washed once a day, and their feet weekly, and then the clothes taken to the fumigation chamber. So that's probably exactly why you're thinking
Richard, it's not just that here though, because I don't know which way we've come in. There's another door behind us, but I feel that actually the way we came in isn't the main entrance to the room somehow. That's almost the way they go out into the rest of the prison. That I feel that the way behind us over here is how they came in, and the main entrance for the prisoners would be behind us somehow.
Let's ask Carly. Is this right? What is picking up on here? Could you say?
Well, we're not really sure, to be honest. I mean, those where we've just come down could have been used as both an entrance or an exit, but there's also evidence that perhaps there was another stairwell that came into here that isn't actually in this room, but it's in the one adjoining this one.
So is that the staircase? When we first started the program, we were standing at the top of a staircase, and immediately behind where I was, with the staircase going downwards, there was a floor level that isn't there anymore and a staircase in the wall.
Potentially that one could have done. We're not actually sure what that's used for. The one that we think may actually come up to here actually leads from the cave area.
Oh, right.
And it actually comes up here. So we think that might have been used, but that could have been used before this was actually used as any kind of laundry area or anything like that for the women.
That's quite interesting, because if it's going down to the cave area, that would seem to indicate that it's not linked to the laundry area at all. It would be linked, although it would be linked to here site-wise, not time-wise. There's a time problem there somewhere, and you do know there's somebody standing behind me.
Yeah, no, I just saw I saw a light behind you, just to the left of that door there. That's when I nudged you,
standing
Jay.
here.
I was going to say, I thought
there's actually somebody standing right behind me, but between me and the door, close to the door at the end.
Hang on, Caroline. Your face has gone. What are you?
No,
what are you seeing?
I'm just still. I can still see him. He's still there. It's.
Can I tell you?
I'm backing off for you for no other reason than.
Okay.
Yes.
But there is somebody right behind me that is trying to come through me at this moment in time. It's. I'm just going to tell you that I'm feeling that I'm taller than I am now. I'm thinner than I am. I have a completely different hair, facial hair. There's a bit of a pronounced brow, and it's somebody who is trying to communicate. He's trying to tell me that this is something to do with the corridor and the cave area downstairs. And we are going to have to go down there, because this is linked to down there.
Can you get any names from this person that's behind you? Any names at all, or anything else that he's trying to say?
It's I can't hear it, but it begins with th. But it's not Thomas. It's a th name.
I'm just looking behind you. Just say, Carolyn, you've seen lights. I haven't seen any lights at all at the moment. But just behind you, again, we're in the pitch black here, and it looks very just hazy behind you, but I can't see anything at the moment.
He's trying to. He's trying to come through here. Caroline, he's interested in you. He's asking about you. He's looking at you. He's pointing at you. I can't hear his name, but he's interested in you. He wants to know about you.
What type of spirit is this? Is this a nice spirit or an?
I don't know yet. He wants to know about you.
We've got Andy here with us tonight as well. Now, Andy, you may have encountered before if you was listening to the broadcast that we did from the Four Stars. Now, if you look at Dave now, is it just my imagination, or there just seems to be some sort of light around his face? Is this right, or is it just as things should be?
Yeah, his face is starting to blur out as well.
Okay, can I?
Oh, he's gone really dark. I can't see him.
Can I just say that, Caroline, I can't see your face at
I can't.
That actually, Jay, you're getting darker. Everybody in front of me is getting darker.
I can't.
Yeah.
He
I can't
blacked
see
out
you.
then completely.
No, he didn't black out for me. I can still see him,
I
but it
couldn't
just
see him
seems
at all.
like a glow around his actual face. So you getting anything more from this man?
I cannot see any of your faces or anything at all. He's trying to come through me. It's my chest is getting hoarser.
Dave, your face is going to get.
He's trying to say to me, he can't speak. He can't speak. It's oh, I've got a really sharp pain at the base of my back on the right hand side. He's been it's bruised. He's confused. He doesn't know why he's here, but I can't hear his name. He has a speech impediment or something. He can't speak properly. It's why I can't hear it. But he's making it difficult for me to speak.
This is going to mean, nothing to anybody now, but the fact is, do you remember when we were upstairs? We went upstairs for coffee before we started this off, and I said to you, I had this stabbing pain in my back. I felt like I'd been bruised just here.
That's exactly where I've got it. Exactly where I've got it. The lower part of the right-hand side of my back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody has just come down that's been upstairs, and they said that when they were upstairs, they were listening to this on an earpiece and heard a man's laugh very clearly, actually, as they were coming down the stairs.
He's toying with us.
You appear to be going into a shadow. You're going completely black now.
I can't see you.
There's a blackness between us.
I cannot see you.
I cannot make out that your face is there.
I can make out the shadow of your faces.
I can just see the microphone.
That's all I can see.
I can see you completely, absolutely as fine as I ever could see you before, but you don't seem to be quite the same, and it's your face, it's almost glowing from here.
Isn't that strange? Because I just can see, honestly, when you're stood there and you're seeing the glowing, I just see a black shadow over it, Dave.
It's almost, if you don't mind me just sort of like coming towards you, it's just almost here.
When you put your hand there, I can see your hand. As you pull away, I can't make anything out at all. It's like the blackness in front of me. I can't make anything out at all.
Are we communicating with the spirit at all?
I think he's trying to stop us communicating. He's
so
trying to block something.
So why was it me that he was trying to...
Because he's interested in you. He is interested in you.
Do you have an age for this man?
Late 30s, 38.
Is there any way that Caroline can maybe communicate with him? If he's interested in her?
Caroline, ask him a question. Try and talk to him.
Okay, if it's me that you're trying to communicate with, is there any way that you can show me that you're trying to communicate with me by touch maybe, or could you drop the temperature? Could you do anything to show me that you're trying to communicate with me? Or if it's not me, somebody else in this group tonight.
Did you move your head then, Dave?
No.
Again, you've gone completely pitch black, and I saw your head move.
Okay, I am standing completely still. He's. I can't say he's in me. He's not in me. He's coming through me. He's trying to present himself, and I can't.
Can you make any sound or anything?
Is there anything that I can do to make it easier for him to communicate?
The hardest thing to try and explain to you is that he's stopping me talking. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, but he is stopping me from talking. When I try and let him talk through me, he doesn't want to talk through me at all. It's almost like he's playing with us, he's toying with us. He does not want me to be his voice.
Okay, we've now got Janet. She's joined us from another part of the building here tonight. Janet, we're picking up, or Dave is picking up, on a male spirit, round about mid-30s, who's trying to communicate with me. Can you pick up this same spirit? Are you picking up anything down here?
I can just see a shadow behind Dave at the moment. Let me just stand a little bit further behind him. Okay. Right, yeah, he's a little bit taller than Dave is. He's lost. He doesn't know where he is here. Let me just... He keeps putting his hands out. Just... Okay. Come forward. He says that he used to work here. He used to work here. He said I had the awful job, so I don't know what he means by that at this stage. He's asking for forgiveness. So he must have been...
He killed people.
Do you feel that too, Janet? Is that what you're picking?
He feels... Well, he's just asking for forgiveness, and it is...
He actually killed people.
Why has he got like a leather thing on his hand?
He
like a glove, but it's not a glove.
He was the executioner. He pulled a lever. I'm getting a lever movement where he pulled something. I don't know whether that makes any sense, but it's like what I'm feeling is he's literally the movement I'm making is like pulling a pint. It's like pulling a lever slightly downwards. That's what he did. But he killed people. He took lives.
And he keeps drawing H. H. So this must be an initial for his name. H.
What's that light just from that stairwell? It's flashing on and off.
That's
okay.
Something from upstairs. So you, Dave, got the
yes.
And Janet's got the H. So do you think that you're actually dealing with the same man?
Yes, we are.
You are, because it's Tom. It's Thomas, wouldn't it be Tom?
It's
Tom and then H. The H is the last name, I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah. He's not very well dressed.
No,
is he?
not at all.
He's quite
shabby.
Yes, and he's quite slim, so as though he's not really, he's quite.
He's wearing. He's quite a long time ago. This is not a recent spirit at all. He's been here for some time, and he's linked. He definitely took lives. He didn't make decisions. He didn't decide whether people lived or died. He just killed people. He was an executioner. This is what he did.
He was carrying out his job then,
yes.
basically.
It was his job.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And there's I want to tell you that, okay, when we wandered around earlier, this will sound like a really stupid thing. There's a set of gallows outside. They don't belong here, though, do they? But that was where people died. But those gallows don't belong here.
Yeah, that's completely true. I mean, that could have been the site of the executions, and they would have looked very similar to that. Those are only replica gallows.
They're not.
They're not actually.
But they're very slightly in the wrong place.
This man is giving me. He's giving me a lot of pain in the stomach, as those. I don't know what he did to people. Something about the stomach as well. This is what you picked a long way.
He was an executioner. Well, a torturer. I want to say he hurt people. He wasn't just killing people. He hurt people.
My stomach's literally being.
This is very strange. This building isn't just a place of imprisonment at all. It's much more than that. There's pain here. There's illness here. There's suffering here. There's torture. There's death. This is so much more than just a.
If you go back to the days where people were actually disemboweled and stuff like that when they were alive, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying they were alive when that happened in some cases. Could it be that?
It could very well be something, because it feels horrible, the pain that I'm getting.
It's actually not just my lower back, it's spreading down my leg. It's on the back of my right leg as well, the top of the back of my right leg. It's a spreading pain.
Did this guy almost enjoy what he did? It sounds horrible, but as an executioner...
I don't think he did at all. I don't think he enjoyed
He's
it.
asking for forgiveness, so...
It was his job.
Yeah, I feel very sad about this man.
But if you said that he did any form of punishment as well and form of torture, was that beyond what he was asked to do?
No. It was what he literally just did his job.
Yeah.
He didn't enjoy it at all. He still does not want to speak through me, though. He does not want to... Every time I try and allow myself to speak for him, he makes it difficult for me to speak.
Okay, well, look, we're going to be moving on very shortly. Hopefully, at some stage, if he comes with us, or maybe we can try to communicate with him once again a little bit later on. It's BRMB Fright Night tonight.
Can I just say that while I'm standing here, you look as though you have huge, great big shadows under your eyes, like your eyes are sunken into your face. You really look as though your eyes are disappearing, almost skull-like, into your face.
How attractive.
Late night last night, was it, love?
Absolutely. Oh, is this to do with him?
This is why he's interested in you. You remind him of Caroline, it's very insulting to you, and I'm sorry. You remind him of a man, but your eyes are sunken, and it's the length of the hair. You remind him of somebody that he killed.
Is this man going to follow us around tonight, or?
And what does he feel about this then?
I think he is going to follow Caroline. Yes.
Does he feel? Is he unhappy that he killed me? Well, if this man he's asking me for forgiveness on behalf of this man.
I think that the reason that he's here and he's behind me is that actually he's looking at you because he's asking for forgiveness for taking your life. And I think what's happening here is you are reminding him of somebody that he killed, and that's why he's here. He doesn't know why he's here. He doesn't know what he's doing here, but he sees you and he's interested in you because of what you look like or what he sees in you.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll communicate with this person more a little bit later on. It's Fright Night, BRMB. We're live tonight from the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. Also, we have Kevin Paschbe. He's over at Dudley Castle, along with Pauline. We'll catch up with them, see what they're finding out, see what's happening over there a little bit later on. We're going to move to another part of the building now, so we'll catch you there after the break.
Do you spook easily? Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
At 96.4 BRMB, Birmingham. BRMB Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
BRMB's Fright Night from the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. Now, we've entered this room. This is the original prison chapel. If anybody's been here before and had a look round, they'll perhaps understand some of the feelings that you are getting tonight, Dave.
It's very strange in here, I've got to say, that when we first came in here, there's a very strong male presence here, and so strong, Caroline, that I can describe him to you. He's about 5'7". He's got dark, greasy hair. He's got a hook nose. He's got a slightly humped back, and he's really nasty and malevolent. Doesn't like it at all. What's odd is that when we came in here just a few moments ago, he seems to be particularly interested in me. Now, we've got a little bit of an archway going off, and I want to go down there. There are some very strange feelings as we go into this bit. I have no idea what this bit here is. It's a very, very dark passageway, and there are many souls here, Caroline. It is very strange. It is very... it isn't nice in here. Okay, there is... The man that is here, I'm being given the name John. He isn't happy that we're here. It's very strange in here, and I don't like him. I don't know who he is. I don't know. He's a nasty spirit. The temperature once again is lowering. There are more spirits coming through here. They're what I would call decrepit. They're thin. They're in pain. They're in a pitiful state.
Something's just touched my arm.
They're pleading for I want to say mercy. It's not mercy. It's This dark spirit, this man that is here, he's in a position of authority, but he's not a jailer. He's not a he's not a jailer, but he's walking through here, and he's scorning, looking down his nose at the other spirits here. The other spirits are prisoners. They are here. They are. They're reaching up. This is why there are orbs down here. This is where they were dying down here, and it's that part down there. It's almost like if you went in there, it's a one-way journey. You know, you might have been pulled in there, you might have been carried in there, you might have stumbled in there yourself. But if you came out of there, you came out of there in a box or a bag. And this is why you're seeing it, because that's a place of death. Whatever it is, that's where they died. This spirit is with us again. He's here. He's interested. He wants to know. He wants to know what we're doing here. But he's also trying to tell me that he's in a position of authority, but he's not a prison guard. I'm getting the strongest feeling that actually he is also imprisoned here. That actually he is not free to leave here. He's incarcerated here for crimes. But he is acting as the chaplain. But he is not actually somebody who is belonging to a church anywhere. He's been sent here.
That smell's coming back again. That musty smell.
It is,
again.
and
Can you tell? Can you ask him that? Tell him that we're not here to intrude on him. We're not here to even get in the way. We just want to know if there's anything that he wants to be known. Is there anything that he can tell us via you as to who he is, why he's here?
He was imprisoned here. He was sent here for really quite a minor crime.
Can you feel that?
But it's
cold breeze.
He's trying to tell me what it was that he was imprisoned here for, but I don't really understand what he's saying to me. It's he stole. He's telling me that he stole, and he can't leave here. He can't leave. He was sentenced to come here, and he stayed here. He died here.
Somebody's fiddling with my hair.
It's him. He is Caroline. He's not nice. We have to go out of here. He is not nice. He is not nice at all. And if we stay here longer, it's not a message we're going to get. It's something else.
Oh dear, it's Fright Night, BRMB, Caroline Martin with you, live from the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. It all seems to be kicking off here. Let's go over to Dudley Castle. Kevin Paschbe's over there. How's it going with you, Kevin?
Hi, Caroline. Yeah, we've just been up the tower, and Pauline's been up there as well. Interesting experiences up there, wasn't there, Pauline? Pauline? I'm not sure if you can hear us at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
Interesting experiences up the tower.
Very, very interesting. At one point, I looked at the window, but I wasn't seeing it wasn't my viewpoint. How can I put it? As I looked out the window, I was a Norman soldier. I felt I had the helmet on, and I was like on guard, and I was looking out. And I also felt it was very, very active up there. I was being pushed and shoved, and I felt that the castle would have been under attack, even on minor occurrences, nothing to do with big battles. I feel that the soldiers would have been on guard 24/7.
Now, we've got David here, who's one of the people who works at Dudley Castle, and he had quite a strange experience up there where he got like a shot in the leg almost, just describing like a shoot went across his leg when he was up in the tower, and that got a bit dramatic as well. But Pauline, it's a very sinister, dark, oppressive feeling here, isn't there, at Dudley Castle tonight?
Oh, it is. I mean, where I'm standing now, all I get is the word execution. I'm looking to my right, and I can see a platform with 3 hangman's nooses.
Well, let's get some confirmation on that. David, you're here. You work at the castle. What Pauline is picking up on, executions, would that have happened in this area by the tower?
Well, very possibly. I mean, certainly the Earl of Dudley was responsible for justice right across his kingdom, if you like, right across Northumberland. So certainly, very possibly, executions were something that would have happened in the grounds of the castle keep, very possibly, and other punishments as well.
So already early in the evening and strange things being picked up on here at Dudley Castle. You might remember, Caroline, looking at the silhouette of the building against the night sky, and I don't know if you remember seeing the shadows and the feeling as people are peeking out from behind the windows at you.
I do. I very much remember it. It sounds like what you're experiencing tonight is similar to our first experience at Dudley Castle. Not last year, because everything there then seemed so calm, didn't it, in comparison to what it was like the year before. But it seems to be that everything is kicking off up there tonight. And it's interesting that you're picking up a lot on executions and hanging, and that's what we're getting here as well.
Absolutely, and that's been a big focus of what Pauline's been picking up on tonight. A lot of activity with executions and murders and people, severe brutality really that's been going on here at the castle that Pauline the Vice is getting on. We're actually about to be taken to an area of the castle that not many people get to go to. We've been up at one tower. There is actually another tower that members of the public don't actually get to go up to when you come to Dudley Castle. But because we're here, we are actually going to be allowed past the locked gate and up a tower, as I said, that people don't normally get to go up to, that is well known for sinister feelings and sinister events going on. So we're going to go off and have a quick look up that tower and see what happened.
We'll be interested in hearing from you once you've been up there. Are you going to go to the Undercroft again this year as well, Kevin?
Yes, we absolutely are. Once we've been up this tower, we will report back to you what happens, and then we shall certainly head inside the Undercroft and see what goes on in there. As I said already, Pauline's been drawn to the door of that area and picked up on things happening on the other side. Also, we've got David here from Dudley Castle. Sorry, something's just grabbed hold of me. Take care of that. He tells me in the last few days the Undercroft has been an absolute hive of activity with loads of reportings of things going on. We're actually quite lucky because no one's actually been around the castle today or last night, so there's a lot of fresh energy that and the door's been locked for about 24 hours. So apparently, once that door's open, there'll be a lot of fresh energy going in there, and we'll be the first to have gone in there for some time. So we look forward to experience something very strange, hopefully.
Okay then, Kevin, we'll catch up with you later on. It is Fright Night live tonight from the Galleries of Justice here in Nottingham. BRMB, I'm Caroline Martin. We've lost Jay. Jay has gone back with Janet to revisit the chapel where we were just a little while ago, just a short while ago. He's gone back down there again with her to see if they can pick up that same gentleman and to see if we can actually get that message across. Now, I'm with Dave Matthews. He's just disappeared off down a corridor. We are in a part of the building called the condemned cell at the moment, so I'm going to follow down into this archway to see what Dave is picking up on down here. So
this area is called the dark cells, and it was where the condemned prisoners were. But I've just been saying to Carly that all the walls feel wrong here. So the two cells that are here don't belong here. And it's the wall is very old. It looks like it's probably one of the oldest walls here, and yet somehow it's not right. And it's almost as though the two cells that we walk past that we can't get into because they're roped off actually are in the wrong place, and somehow they should be the other way around. I can't explain it. They just don't feel right. The corridor itself that we can't go down because we can't broadcast from it here has incredibly strange feelings, and I feel drawn down there, but then it's that area that we can't get into underneath that I want to go to, but we can't because it's not safe, and that's where I want to go, because that's what I feel were the condemned cells, not these two little bits. Somehow these two little bits are something that were an afterthought or were put in, because although they feel very, very old, it just doesn't feel right. That when I'm trying to sort of contact the energy in the building and the spirits here, and the two cells just feel completely at odds with the rest of the building. It's very strange.
Is this something that's been picked up on before, Carly, or is this a first?
It's the first time I think I've ever heard that mentioned. There is one thing. There were originally 3 cells down here, and the third one is actually where we're stood at the moment, the bigger room. That was originally a condemned cell as well. So there was the 3. As for the actual chamber beneath there, which is what we call the pits, when you were saying that could have actually been, that feels almost like a condemned area as well. That's where they were left to die. In a way, that's true, because people were literally just thrown down there and left to rot.
Because that's what that feels like. It feels that the spirits are there,
Yeah.
not here. And the peculiar thing is, I can feel that this area here is a condemned cell. Yes, I can feel that. I can feel the area down to that strange little bit that we can't get to, that's sunken. There's something odd about that. That was a condemned cell. But somehow the bit that is 2 cells is wrong. It doesn't feel that that's 2 cells. I can imagine the whole of this being 1 cell, yes. But the 2 bits that are there, despite the fact that it's a ridiculously old wall, it doesn't feel right at all, somehow.
Can we go a bit further down into here? Because earlier on, I know that we can't go around the corner, but if we can just go down the corridor a bit, see how far we can go without it breaking up completely. Because earlier on you were drawn down here, you felt that you needed to come down here.
Well, that's right. See, the wall here that you can see, it's a very, very old wall,
Yeah.
this part here, and somehow that wall there doesn't appear to belong or fit with anything around it. If you look at it, it's a completely different kind of wall, and somehow it almost looks as though either everything else has been built around it, or in fact it was added afterwards, but it looks like a much older wall than the rest of the stuff around it.
Are you picking up on anything, any presence actually down this corridor or from there?
Very much so. Where we are here, under this archway or this wall here, is very strange, and I feel that I'm being drawn to further in there, but I know we can't go down there because we can't broadcast from it. But the part that I'm being drawn to is what did you call it? The pit. The pit at the bottom. That's where I want to go, but I know that we can't get anywhere near it, because when I was down there, when I disappeared, and you were just doing the introduction, and I was down there, we were down there, and I can feel and hear cries, and I think that if you have experiences here, they're moans and sort of but they're moans of pain. You said they were thrown down there just to rot, but I don't feel they were that. They were thrown there after they were tortured, after they'd given the information or whatever it was they wanted, when they were no use to anybody else. They were left to die and thrown into that bit.
Yeah, they were literally thrown and just left there. That was it. They were usually, another thing that we had down there before, it was later on it was actually used for transportation prisoners, but before that it was just literally all the poor prisoners. Anybody who couldn't afford anything were just literally
thrown in
down
there.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what I feel down there, that it was just that you would hear cries, you would hear moans, that where the railing is, it's almost the fingers, claws trying to come up through there, trying to get to light, because it's dark down there, whereas it would have been slightly lighter up here.
And that is something that's been reported as well, moans and things like that people have heard down here before.
But it's from there, it's from the pit area, but also from that area around the corner where just earlier there was what appeared, or we thought was an orb, and a figure to in the corridor to our right just now. There's something there as well, and I could feel a face and a hand coming out of the bars at the bottom. I could see a very, very thin, scruffy face trying to reach out to us.
You could sense that as we
Yes.
came in. What was that? Was that you coughing? Lovely. Right. So we've encountered various spirits throughout the night so far. Are they here with us? Are they? Because you said that one was going to follow us. Have they, or are they not here anymore?
Not here. When we were walking towards here, I felt that one that was behind me that was interested in you was following us, but he hasn't come here.
Okay. And there's nobody new that's trying to come through.
But that spirit was with us as we came down the staircase, as we followed down. When I said which way did we go, and we came in the direction here, I was being pulled by him to go in a certain direction, but he stopped at the chapel. When we walked past the chapel, he didn't come any further. We then carried on round to this bit here, and he stopped there.
It's a strange thing, because I know we can't go down there because we're going to lose the signal, but I know also that we do have to go down there.
I know.
At some juncture we've got to go down there. So what I think that we should do is we're going to go to a break, and then we'll go down there, sit there for a while, and then we're going to catch up with Jay and Janet to see exactly what they experienced, if they picked up on the same thing that you did tonight. This is Fright Night, live from the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. Caroline and Dave, we're here. We're about to venture into the black pit, you call it, the pit. We're going to go back in there. Join us in a minute to see exactly what happens when we do.
Brmb Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
Dare you listen? Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
96.4 Brmb, Birmingham.
It's Fright Night live from Brmb. We're wandering around at the moment, and to say that we're lost would be perhaps an understatement, Dan, wouldn't it, really? But we're trying to find everyone. We seem to have gone off to do a little bit of investigating on our own, therefore losing everybody actually in the process. We're going out here. And Janet's here, Janet Crawford. So we're out by the gallows then. The hangman. So it's the hangman's noose out here. And how are you feeling out here, Janet?
Terrible. It's just, I can see the crowds of people. There would have been a lot of people watching what was happening, and I feel like I'm somebody waiting to go on the gallows, and I'm very, really, really tensed, really quite frightened. I know that there's a lot of prayers being said, and I feel that there's also something about, I don't know, I keep being given a cross, and but I almost feel like I'm being persecuted for my religion, so there must have been something about, people must have been hung as well for whatever the religion were, because he's been given this cross, and it's as though he's been made to kiss the cross, and I don't feel he's happy about doing that. And I can just hear people shouting and jeering, and for some reason I can hear the clock chiming as well. It's as though, when there's a clock or something, or a bell, when it chimes a certain time, that's it. And I can feel the apprehension of this male, this young male that's waiting to be executed. Okay. But he's not on his own. There are three of them. There are three that are going to the gallows. I don't know whether they're all going at once or whether they're all going that day. There'll be three.
Do you think that, we picked the gentleman up downstairs
Yes.
that we thought was Thomas, the one that was trying to communicate with me. He was the one that had caused a lot of this to happen. It was his job. We established he was an executioner. He tortured people because that was his job. Is he around here? Because he's followed us so far, but...
Yeah. Well, he's just saying, when you said, he caused it, he said, I didn't cause it. He said, I just did what I had to do. He's not happy about that. He took a lot over his life over that, but he said, I had a wife and children to feed just like anybody else, and that was my only way.
So at the time, he saw it as just his job. That was what he was meant to do.
He's got his leg is deformed, as he's sort of dragging his leg behind him, so I feel that he wouldn't have been able to work as such, and that's one of the reasons why he did it. Right. That was why he did the job. I don't know what this was, but my leg feels like I just literally, it's almost as though it's paralysed or something, you know, and I'm dragging my leg. So I know that, you know...
It's interesting that you should say that, because when we were actually in the other room and Dave was picking up on him, before you arrived in the room, he was having trouble bringing him forward. It was like there was something actually keeping him back.
He was, you know, and like I say, at the end of the day, this was all he could do. He said, I wasn't paid well for it. I did it. I just did it. You know, but he's obviously gone over to the other side with a lot of guilt from what he did, and he obviously suffered for it too while he was here.
It's BRMB, the Fright Night, live tonight from the Galleries of Justice. We're in Nottingham, it's Halloween, and it all seems to be going off. We're going to catch up a little bit later on with Kevin. He's with Pauline at Dudley Castle, and that'll all be happening after this.
BRMB, Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
Dare you listen? Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
96.4 BRMB, Birmingham.
It's Halloween night, just after 11 on a Monday evening. It's Fright Night, BRMB. We're here on a freezing cold night. It seems to have got so much colder in the last half an hour. I'm outside at the moment, the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham, watching the clouds scud over. We're going to be doing a bit more investigating. There's so much actually going on. Of course, we've got Kevin at Dudley Castle. But right now, we're going to go and join Jay and Janet, find out what they've caught in the chapel.
Okay, we've now entered the chapel area of the caves section of the Galleries of Justice. Janet, first impressions?
I can already feel somebody here. This lady.
It's BRMB. We appear to, we've lost Janet. We've lost all communication with Janet, who is actually downstairs with Jay. We're going to try and get them back. I don't know what's going on down there. With the experience that we had earlier on down in there, Dave and myself, hopefully nothing quite as bad is going on. We'll try and re-establish contact with Janet. But first, we're going to go over to Kevin. Hello, Kevin. How's things at Dudley?
Yeah, we just come down from the two towers which are normally closed off to members of the public, and I can kind of understand why the public aren't allowed into these areas, because it's they're not very nice areas, being very remote parts of the castle and very derelict, but also just the oppressive, sinister feelings that you get when you're in these other towers. The first tower that we went up to, we went to an area which would have led us onto the first floor, and there was a gentleman that wouldn't let us go any further, and he was very, very agitated and wasn't at all happy that a female was in his part of the tower, and he was poking Pauline and wouldn't let Pauline say his name, and then he just decided to shove me down the step, and when we got to the bottom of the tower again, he decided to shove me out of the tower entrance. We've then been up to the other side of the tower, and very nasty feelings and a nasty discovery of what Pauline feels went on there, involving children being tortured in many ways, and being flushed to their death down a chute and into what would have been, we've now found out from David, the moat that surrounded the castle. And David's just been telling us about how it would have been a time in the years gone by when travellers would have used Dudley Castle as a stop-off point in the country, and they would have left their children here and just not taken them. And obviously the spirits that are being picked up are the spirits that have been left behind. Hello, Caroline, can you hear me?
Hello, Kevin. Sorry, everything seems to be phasing in and out tonight, but yeah, we can hear you. Missed quite a bit of that there at the minute, but oh dear, we've just re-established contact again with Jay and Janet. So what happened down there? We lost you.
Don't know. We were down there. We were picking up on a Rosemary woman, and also you didn't hear off air. You didn't hear on air because the signal cut out. But Janet had to actually leave the area because she was coughing and spluttering. There was a tightness around her neck, which is what you experienced with Andy beforehand. But for some reason, we've checked out all the equipment. The equipment's fine. Who knows? It's all fine, but for some reason the communication wasn't right.
It seems to be, I don't know, it's just a weird night for this as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, with the cold and with everything as we're looking around here as well. I want to go back into that other bit. I want to record some stuff with Dave down there because there is a part where we can't actually go live. So I'm going to go back in there. And in the meantime, I understand that you're going to go off to the bedroom with Janet.
Yes, me and Janet are off for a little adventure of our own. You go off and experience more ghouls and ghosts. Right, Janet, if we follow our way through the labyrinth of caves. Okie doke. Here we go then. Here we go, walking back towards... This whole place is... I don't know whether you found... I mean, you haven't had a chance to explore it all, but it's very, very menacing indeed.
Very, very much so. This I've just stood here, and it was literally people just coming up the stairs, and I was a little bit pushed back by them. It was that overwhelming. Let's go through.
Okay. We're going to make our way through the laundry area, back towards the bedroom, which I think, again, it's very confusing. Your mind just plays tricks on you because there's loads of nooks and crannies and everything, so in shadow. And
what's there? Somebody in there. Oh, yeah, it's Dave.
Oh, Dave's run there. Dave and Caroline will cross to them a bit later on. Here we go. So we're coming back towards just past the chapel area, which is where the signal cut out before, but
yeah,
it seems to be fine now. It's one of those weird technical glitches.
Is
okay.
it?
Well, who knows? Everything out of our control tonight.
Right, this must have gone out to the courtyard. It looks like something's been actually... There's a wall there that's been bricked up, if you can see. But I would imagine, because I've just seen somebody walking up there as though that's possibly one of the ways to the gallows. I don't know whether it was, because that's how I feel with it. But that wasn't there. That door wasn't there, because the terrible feeling of gloom as people I just saw a spirit walk up there with the head down. So I know that's got to have been the way.
Okay.
They came from here, and they would have gone.
Away.
Some of them would have gone and dragging.
Okay, again, as we move our way towards the laundry, it's very disorientating, isn't it? But it's...
Yeah, totally.
I mean, you can imagine just the despair that the prisoners would have gone through in this place, not knowing what their fate is. I mean, we've known...
And the other thing you've got to think about is there would have been so many other people here. It wouldn't have just been one person. It would have been absolutely crowded.
Yeah. This jail, in fact, actually...
Old, young...
Saying that... No, Caroline hasn't done any research, but I did a quick bit of internet search myself, because don't pick up on anything usually, so I thought, no harm. This jail was actually known for its overcrowding.
Yeah, and I don't know whether they would have segregated men and women, because I mainly heard men shouting, and it was just, as I stood at the door, I could just hear these terrible, like, moans and sighs and shouts, and it was like bedlam. It really was. Like the old sort of mental hospitals that they used to have. It was that kind of a noise.
And again, it's all the echoes off the stone walls and stuff.
Yeah. Right, so we're back up to the top.
Okay, we're back up here, and we're just heading down towards the...
This way.
Cells? We can head towards the cells. Okay, this area here, we'll leave the bedroom for a time, and as we're passing the cells... Ow! pressure on the head here?
Ooh.
Or just a headache?
This is full. They're all male. Every one of them that's...
How many
near
spirits
is
are we
male.
talking here?
It must be about 8 to 10. Just
This room
here.
itself is
Yeah.
maybe 7 foot by 5 foot.
Just looking out. I think we've got a window there, but there wouldn't
There's a window
have
there.
been.
Yeah, and there's,
it wouldn't have been there. at
there's
one
chains on the side. There's
Yeah.
paint peeling
Yeah.
off. Stone walls. It's not
Yeah.
not a nice person for
Yeah.
not a nice place for one person, let alone
Not
8
everybody
10.
was murdered here. They were just kept here. So they would have been amongst the ones that were going to be killed. Not all murderers, not all just anybody that were really, any old vagabond was thrown in here.
Anybody asking or willing to
It
communicate
wouldn't have
with
been
us?
as clean as this as well. They had straw on the floor.
Anybody willing to communicate with us at all?
Yeah, there's an old chap. Well, he looks old. I mean, he looks about 60 or 70, but he's probably not. He's probably only the same age as me. But he is a bit of a, he talks about he stole some silver. From, I'm not sure, I do believe, yeah, right, yeah. He says he used to go and steal from the houses, so he would have been a burglar, I suppose. And unfortunately, he was caught. He's got the shackle around his ankle, which is cut into his ankle, and it's very sore. And he's just asked me, could I take it off for him, because it's hurting.
Do we have a name for this guy?
No, he doesn't. He won't give me a name because he says I don't have a name. That's what he said, but I don't know whether he just refuses to give his name or whether he feels he's just not. He just feels, that he's so worthless. He's trying to. He's trying to do something on the floor. He's trying to draw something, but it's not. He's not able to write. So this man would have been illiterate, and he keeps doing. He's doing like men hanging. So for some reason, he's telling me that he would have been with people that would have been hung as well.
Can we ask him to make a sign, or maybe a noise?
Yeah.
Can you speak to him directly, Janet?
I'll try. I don't know whether you can see there's little lights all around.
I noticed it. I just thought it was my eyes playing tricks
No,
on me,
that's the spirit. There's one especially over there that it's just a little, and every now and again, if you just look over that way, you'll just see.
They're flickers, aren't they?
Yeah. Over in that corner there, and there's no light whatsoever from there.
It's to the left of me, and it's completely dark. But there are like flickers. Yeah. Just flashes.
There is actually a hole in the wall there. Fine, but it wasn't there anyway. But yeah, very. Wait a minute. Somebody's coming really close now. Hang on, we're getting somebody through. Right. Oh no, he's telling me this man here, right? He's this is
very dark.
Yeah, well, this man, right? He's telling me that he used to make the coffins. He said he was here as a prisoner, but he was okay. He could stay here, and he was kept alive. But he had a job to do, and that his job was making these boxes. These wooden boxes, he's doing them with strips, and he showed me how he made them. And he said, he was in here, and they said to him, this is what he could do. And he said, I used to get my bread for that. So he's not meaning bread. There's somebody really close moving over to you now. Right there.
Is he wanting to...
No, this is somebody else. This is somebody else that's just,
okay.
It's just so full.
This is
and
quite
again,
weird for
it's
me,
that like, this person's like in more of a white colour. I mean, I can't imagine anybody walking around in white, but it's just they're very, very close to you. You're not feeling anything, are you, at the moment?
Because usually they're interested in Caroline, and that's fine with me.
They're just wanting to make contact. That's what we're here to do, really. I'm just, they're distracting me from actually talking. Oh, I can see them coming through a bit more now. Just have a look
This room's
over.
gone pitch black.
Just over there. There.
You can see in this room quite easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going dark, but it's actually, can you see the whites? It's just, and they're starting to,
There's this kind of white glow just about
yeah,
areas of the room.
they're just coming forward, and because, like I say, especially at night time, it's easier for them to, there's too much going on through the day.
Okay, I've moved my earpiece to contact back to the studio, back to my other side of my ear, because it was, if you could just explain, the ghost that you were seeing, or the spirits, were on my left side, so I've moved my earpiece over to see if they can if I can hear anything in particular. Are they still there to the left of me, Janet?
Yeah. Just stood there, not really doing anything, just come close.
I'm looking over to
making
one.
me really itch. And he's
It's funny, Janet, I just, on my ear and my hair, just really want to itch and scratch.
Got not nice down here. Oh, get off me. Go away. Oh no.
This room has gone pitch black.
He was trying to strangle me then. He put his hands on my throat. Go away.
You all right, Janet?
Yeah, I'm fine. He won't. He strangled his wife actually.
I just saw a flash. Oh.
Yeah. He's not a nice person though.
Can you talk to him?
I don't know whether I want him to get too close, but I'll try.
That corner's gone black again. It's weird, it fades from black to grey.
You know, he keeps going, get off me.
You okay?
Yeah, he keeps grabbing hold of my throat.
I just saw a flash of light when he walked in.
Yeah, he's not a very, he's a nasty piece of work, truthfully. Oh, there you are. Can you see him now?
Can you get a name, Janet?
Can you see the
Yep,
legs?
I can see him. Can you get a name?
Let's have a see.
Oh God, yeah, we can see him in the corner.
Yeah.
I can see him.
Standing against the wall.
Oh, jeez. I can see him.
Sam.
Sam.
I can't get his last name.
I can see he had two legs.
Gin. He's saying gin. I had too much of the gin. Oh, he smells. His breath is awful. Oh, it's horrible. Oh, he did. He really did like the gin.
I can see him.
Oh my God.
He's moving.
Just don't let him get too close because he's got very big hands and he just keeps putting them at my throat and I don't want him to do that.
Do you want to come out or are you okay?
No, I'll stay here with him. He keeps going on about the gin and he strangled his wife and he said I'd do it again, so he's
was it
very
his
angry.
wife, Janet?
Yeah, he was his wife he strangled.
Just his wife?
He just seems to quite enjoy strangling people, so I don't know. Oh God, he's getting a bit too close. No, I don't like him at all. I'm pushing him back a bit because his personality this morning is not very nice at all.
Sorry, did we get another name for him?
Sam. Was it Sam?
Is there anything else, Janet? It's gone really dark in here. Are you okay?
Yeah, but you're protected, but I literally cannot... When we entered this room, it was...
Did you hear him then?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see a blue light about knee height against that wall. Can you see that?
Oh my God.
Janet, I have no idea where you are in this room, and I know you're only a foot away from me, but I can't see you at all.
It's like, I just feel like somebody's got a current going through me.
Is there somebody between us? It feels dark between us.
There is somebody between. Oh God, it's like,
Janet?
No, I don't like it.
Janet, there you are. Got you.
Janet, Dave's here now as well, Janet. Dave's here.
Okay, we've got Dave here as well.
Oh, he's not a nice man. Just watching me. He grabs out at me.
Okay, this... No, he isn't very nice at all, is he?
This is sound though.
This is really odd. I can't feel or sense where the walls are in here at all.
Yeah.
The room is...
It's full.
Yeah. There's so much in here. It's cloying. It's very, very cloying in here. It's very dry.
Oh, God, I can feel him so close. He's going...
Janet, he's right behind you.
I don't know.
Because I
keeps
can...
coming to...
Oh, Janet, no. Janet, he's really horrible. He's... Janet, he's... No.
Okay, I'm holding on to Janet's arm.
Okay. I know where you are. I can see. I can just see Janet. Janet, he's on the other side of you. He is. Yeah. He's looming over you. He is.
Don't let him put his
Janet. Janet. He wants.
Janet,
you.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Janet, he wants you. He's trying to. He's trying to possess you. He's trying to take you. He wants. He wants your energy. Your. He wants your energy, Janet. He's trying to suck energy from you, take energy from you. He's trying to take. He's literally just. It's almost like a. His hand is like a.
Janet, you feel as though you're falling back and
like
back and back.
Janet.
Janet.
Janice.
Janet.
Janice.
Janet.
Janet. You okay? Do you know, okay, a torch has just gone on, and I have to tell you that I thought the room was twice the size, that where this wall is immediately behind Janet, that's exactly where this figure was, and he was trying to take your energy. He wanted the energy that you'd got, and he was trying to, and he's still there.
I know.
There's a shelf directly behind Janet, and when that torch went on, Janet, I thought, what the hell's happening here? You looked as though you were in a trance.
I thought you'd gone, Janet. I don't think you should be in here, Janet. I don't think you should be in here.
Did actually, yeah.
This is he's here, and he's.
Can we see if Dave can communicate with him?
He won't take me. Janet, this is the second time we've had this, where we've had a spirit go after one of the ladies here. There was the spirit that went after Caroline, that was interested in Caroline downstairs, and there's this one here that's gone after Janet. Now, I'm standing here between me and Janet. It's getting darker. I'm losing Janet's face, but Janet, he's not after you. He's still here by me.
Yeah, he told me that he killed his wife, that he strangled his wife, and we were trying to make out whether he's done this before, because he wasn't a very nice man.
He has. He's killed several times before.
Yeah, I mean, his hands went straight round my neck. Which
is the feeling that I had earlier about the strangling and the throat being titled downstairs. Janet, he wants you. He wants the energy that you've got, because it makes him more powerful by taking people with energy, by attacking people with a life force. It gives him more energy, and it makes him do this even more and take more energy.
This is what happens with people that are on the lower planes, usually murderers and people like that. Who are on the lower planes, they can actually they can connect quicker, and they will try. They come towards a good energy that they see, and they will connect. They will try and, like you say, they will try and.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll leave him in this room
if he get that life force back.
If he is trying to be really, really nasty, we've communicated with him once, or done as best we can. We'll now cross over to our other location tonight, Dudley Castle, and Kev should be there. Kev, are you there? Kev at Dudley Castle, can you hear me at all? Okay, we're having trouble with Kevin at the minute. So what we're going to do is we've explored quite a few areas here in the Galleries of Justice. There's still a few more on our checklist. Directly above us is a courthouse. Which we can do. So what we'll do is we'll move towards the courthouse. And but right now we've got Kevin.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Hello, Kevin, are you there?
Hi, yeah, Julian, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, we're having very much communication problem tonight. All this equipment's been checked and rechecked and should all be fine, but for some strange reason tonight it seems to be
Well, I think that could something to do with events that are kicking off down here at Dudley Castle. We're outside the door of the Undercroft area, where Pauline has been getting a feeling of being summoned over for most of the evening. I'm not sure if you've got her on the other line. No, we haven't got her on the other line. We're about to go into the Undercroft area, and earlier on, Pauline was tempted straight to the door, and we banged on the door, and on the other side of the door she felt the presence of a kind of a servant just being there. And I believe we're just getting Pauline on the other line before we just go into the Undercroft area. So I think what we'll do is, do we want to bang on the door before we go in? Pauline, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, let's just do what we did earlier on.
Right. I'm just mentally asking spirits if we can enter, and they just said beware.
Okay. Oh. No, the door. Does it open? Oh, we're getting the door will not open. Oh, there we go. Right. Oh, and it's going straight back again. We're now just going into the Undercroft area. Hopefully you won't lose us. But this is the area where there's been a lot. What you can feel?
It's I explained to you earlier about the hot energy. I feel there's a gentleman standing to my right, a spirit energy, a very uncomfortable gentleman. He's I'm only little, but he's very, very tall. He's broad. He's got a very rough-looking expression. He's happy I'm here. To be honest, I'm a little bit frightened. I do feel terror in my body, in my body. I'm shining my torch into like a room, and I really don't know whether I should enter or not, because there's sort of appearance to the right-hand side here.
No, it really is a very awesome feeling in this room. We've been waiting to come in here all night, and maybe it's the anticipation of actually coming into the room or not. Perhaps you can just momentarily turn off your torch and just see what happens. If you can just close the door over behind us, hopefully we won't lose signal. So we're standing now in the complete pitch black. Anything coming at you?
I just feel
No, I understand we're not able to hear Pauline at the moment. We are standing completely still. We haven't moved, but yet the mobile phone signals just seem to be coming and going. And in fact, Pauline has now lost complete mobile signal. What I'm going to actually do is hand my phone over to Pauline. Pauline, if you can just stand over by me, and you can just explain to us what you're feeling.
I'm actually feeling like a tickling sensation towards the back of my neck to the left side. I feel like as I'm standing here near Kevin, I feel that the gentleman, the gruff-looking gentleman, it's almost like he's kicking me in the back of my knees, and I want to bend my knees because the pain is horrendous. He's actually, it feels like as if he's got me by, it sounds funny, but he's got one hand at the scruff of my jacket, and it's like as if he's got the other hand on my bottom, and he's really trying to push me out.
Kevin, can I interrupt you there, please? Yep, okay, I'm just going to cut you in there, guys. Caroline has just literally collapsed. We're still outside that cell area where that Sam guy was, and Caroline has collapsed. Right, she's burying her head in one of the producer's arms. I don't know what's going on. Janet's by the side of her. There's a lot of confusion here at the minute. Dave, you there?
Yeah, can I just tell you that what it was? I've just been in here. I was talking to Caroline before, and then talking to Janet. Samuel, that is in here, this room, this spirit. He's after women, and I had just said to Janet this minute, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes women faint. And as I said that, Caroline literally collapsed, and this is linked to Samuel. He is very nasty, and he wants energy, and he's only going to take it from women. But he's a nasty spirit.
Okay, this is like a first for us on the Fright Night that we've actually had one of the team completely and utterly collapse. Her legs went beneath her. But to be honest, ever since Caroline went in there, she was quiet. It's almost like un-Caroline-like almost.
This spirit, this Samuel he's killed before, and he takes energy from women. This is what he does. He doesn't go after men. He's purely interested in dominating, in being powerful, in having dominion over women, and this is exactly what he's done with Caroline.
Where is the sun now?
He is still
Can
in
we
this
go
room.
back in?
We can go in this room. And if you walk back in here, no torches.
No torches, please.
If you come in here, you can feel him. He's in this corner. He is here. You can feel the energy. It's a negative draw, and he just wants. It's black. I mean, it's dark in here, but this is a black corner. He is here, and this is what he wants.
Okay, we've brought Janet back in. Janet.
Janet, I've talked to him. I've told him he needs to move on. Janet, don't stand there. Please don't stand there. Please don't stand there. He needs to go, but I don't know whether or not we can move him on because he is so powerful. And when I spoke to him, when I communicated with him, it was almost like he was laughing at me, saying, it's like I don't, I don't need to listen to you. I don't want to be here. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to take you. I'm going to take her. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I do. He's done it before, and he's going to do it again.
Okay. Other than actually Caroline collapsing, can we ask him for a sign? I know on that shelf that's in that corner, there's a number of objects, including a silver mug, some papers. Can we ask him to move one of those?
I think if we were going to get him to do that, it would take some time to do it.
Okay.
Well, if we just ask him, if we all focus on it, basically, okay, then we want you to prove you're there. Prove to us.
This man takes no orders from nobody.
No, he's not going to do it. But
does he like me for saying that?
No, Jay, he will prove that he's here. Okay, he will. Okay. But he's going to go after you because he doesn't like being ordered around. He is not going to move something for.
Okay, can somebody hold me then?
But he is going to go. You'll feel him. You will feel him. He's going to come past you. He's going to show you.
Okay. Okay, I'm stood fixed.
Okay. It's getting darker in the corner. He's just beginning to come forward. He's coming forward now.
Okay. So I've upset him almost.
You have upset him. He does not take orders from anybody.
It's gone pitch black.
It's gone pitch black in that corner. He's not happy. He's not happy at all.
This gentleman fought all the way to the gallows. He really did. He kicked and he pushed them, and it was one that they actually enjoyed hanging.
Okay.
But he's never left here.
No.
I don't feel him, to be honest.
No.
He has never left here.
I'm still not feeling him. Is he still angry with me?
Yeah.
He's angry with the world.
He needs to show it.
He's not a happy man at all.
At the moment. Come on, tough guy.
I wouldn't do that. I'm just gonna leave you alone for a minute.
Still hold me.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna leave you alone because I think that while I'm holding on to you, he's not gonna do anything. I think we need to leave you on your own with him.
Okay.
To be honest, he's.
And I'm staring directly at that corner where he's supposed to be.
You are staring right at him.
It's gone pitch black.
He's not going to do anything
Nah,
for
he's not.
anybody. He really isn't, because he's not going to, he'll do it when he wants to,
No,
what he gets from it.
he's just he's standing in the corner. He's glowering. He's not
That's
happy.
the reason why he picked
Okay.
on women, though, because
Yeah,
he had the
pick on someone your own size, mate.
Don't.
It's not a good idea, Jay. It's not a good idea. Trust me, it really isn't.
No.
He's not nice at all.
Okay. Right. Well, how black has that gone there now?
No, it's okay. Oh, wait a minute. Something just moved.
Something moved.
No, he's not going to. He will not do this. I know he won't.
Sounds weird, but I feel as though there's somebody else holding my microphone.
Ooh.
Okay, can I just tell you, okay, that from where I'm standing, looking out towards you, to me it seems like he's got his hand around your hand.
Okay, we're going to investigate this, and we're going to go to the courthouse and go back to Dudley Castle. We'll be back after this.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice. Brmb Fright Night.
Do you spook easily?
Brmb Fright Night. Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
Well, what an eventful night so far. We're still here at the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. We just had word from Caroline. You're back. Tell us what happened.
Even from when I entered that room, it was like I wasn't even really there. Do you know what I mean? I was there, but I wasn't there, and I don't know. It just seemed like something was sucking something from me, and all of a sudden I was just on the floor, and it just felt awful. Like even if I dare say it's something of like a sexual nature. Do you know? I mean, I've talked to Janet about this.
I was nearly going while I was in there. That was a very, very strong. I would spirit that's somebody that would have been like that on the earth plane, and he was also not a very nice person, especially with women. He wanted the full control, and the energy that he was taking is what he would have done from women here. And I do feel that he raped and murdered. You know, that was he had no morals whatsoever, this guy. And like I say, when they took him to the gallows, they were glad to do that. I felt he would have gone kicking, screaming, shouting at everybody because he cursed everybody.
It was a strange experience. It was like being in that room. 1 minute I was talking to you, and the next minute talking to Dave, and the next minute that was it, gone.
Well, as Janet said, when he went to the gallows, he went kicking and screaming and fighting. He didn't go quietly, and he hasn't left. He's still here. I had seconds before you collapsed. I said to Janet, "I'm surprised that some woman hasn't fainted. Women would faint here," and you went. He just completely sucks energy from women. He's a really, really nasty spirit. Really nasty spirit.
Okay, we seem to have left him behind then in that cell. We've moved towards the criminal courthouse here at the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham. Many activity has been reported here in the past. Guys, are you picking up anything so far?
There's quite a lot. When we came in here, Jay, I pointed out to you that we've got figures on the balcony. There's what appears to be mannequins behind us on one of the balconies, but on the balcony over here in front of us, there's activity up there. There's also an awful lot of activity on the staircase immediately behind us that goes down to the prison itself, and the staircase is called the...
We don't actually give it a name. It leads to what we call our bloody code area, but it leads into the prison from here.
Because you can feel the spirits that are here, and it's linked to I mean I can feel anger in this room, I can feel confusion, I can feel tears, I can feel the area behind us where the clock is on the chairs there. I'm getting confusion and sadness and tears from people that are there. I'm getting anger from the balcony, people shouting, people jeering there. And then we have in this area here, there's sort of consternation and anger and disbelief, and it's linked to the crimes that have been tried in this room. The other thing that really disconcerted me when we walked in, and twice I've looked back, is that the main chair, which is where the judge sits, I keep seeing a figure sat in the main judge's seat, and every time I look there, the figure is there, and then when I really look, it isn't.
He was there as soon as we walked in. I noticed him too.
And he's
it's my court.
Yes, this is like I'm in charge.
Yeah, and that's why he's back here.
Yeah, it's like sort of, what are you doing in here? Why are you interfering in my court? What are you doing? You're not showing me respect. I'm not happy. This is my court. It's the kind of thing that if you were going to get some sort of experience on Halloween night, if you heard a gavel bang, then believe me, I would be out of here so fast you would not want to hear it, because that's the kind of feeling that I'm getting from him.
Okay, are we picking up any prominent spirits, any particular names or anything from anybody prominent? You say there's a lot of people in here, and you say in all the different parts of the courthouse, the galleries, the viewing areas. Are we picking up on any 1, 2, 3 spirits?
The only name I'm being given is Michael. I've been given Michael when we walked in here, and it's a very dominant, striking, that's the name I'm being given all the time in here, but it's just Michael. I don't know whether that's a first name or the surname, but it's Michael. Where Janet is, I guess, is that the dock
And there's the dock where she's right now. That's actually where the officials would have been, so you would have had policemen in that particular area around there. Yes, those were for court officials and the police.
So the main dock area is the bit at the front of where Janet is. We're just going to head over into that area there.
What are you feeling, Janet?
I've got a lady's name of Helen. That's all I've got at the moment.
Did you say this is the criminal court?
This lady?
This is linked. She was a debtor. She was thrown into the debtor's prison.
No, this is another one. It's so full here, but this lady's Helen.
Was this court here when the debtor's prison was here? Was this the courtroom that was here then?
There was some caves underneath here that collapsed and took the courtroom with it. So it has been rebuilt over the years. This particular one was actually rebuilt in the Victorian times. But there's been a courtroom on these premises from the 1300s.
So the courtroom that we're in then, if I'm getting feelings to do with women and children being thrown into debtors' prisons, which is the sensation that I'm getting here, that could still be from this room.
Yes.
Maybe not this particular structure, but certainly from the court that was here on this site.
Yes, it would.
I'm firmly feel that it's humiliation. It's being thrown and left to suffer in debtors' prison that we're getting from here.
It's funny because when we saw the judge, he was more, I would say, Victorian type. But as we talked about him, there were two other gentlemen at either side, and they went back a lot longer than that. They didn't actually wear these kind of robes. They had black on. They had the black and the white fully, but it was totally different. They didn't have the wigs on. We're going back a long, long way with these two gentlemen.
Okay, if we're looking at the balconies up around us, behind us now, the balcony over here, over the doorway where we came in, there's what looks like a very large mace or a silver finial of some kind. I don't really understand what it is, but just above that, there's a pillar and a balcony. There's a lady that I can see just by the pillar, looking down, and she's in tears. She's sobbing. She's upset, and she's sorry that either that her husband, her loved one has been sent down. Literally, he's being judged, and he's going down the staircase. What is confusing me very much a little bit about this, I don't understand enough about the court system with criminal court or crown court or whatever it is. I'm also getting a feeling that this room has been used relatively recently for really, maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, for really quite severe severe crimes, very, very strict, not strict, what's the word? It's very, very severe crimes against I don't know, really, really big crimes have been tried here.
Definitely. I mean, this was actually the criminal court right up until 1986. So it was still used, and so you would have had murderers and all kinds of cases come through here.
Okay, but more than that, it's mass. It's a mass killing of some kind. It's an outrage. It's a mass killing that I'm getting here.
I can't think of anything immediately. Certainly not recently.
So we're talking. It's 1986. You said so.
Yes.
So we're talking 20 years ago, aren't we? Maybe one of the last cases that was tried here in the 1980s. But somebody who killed a lot of people, and there's a lot of anger here, anger at being caught, anger at being sentenced, anger at being here, standing here in this area where I'm. He does not want to be here. He's angry. He has been caught. He feels that he was doing nothing wrong, but he killed a lot of people, and this is.
We have something like that more in a historic case. I mean, it wasn't, when we're talking about a lot of people, there was actually 4 people involved. But that was a historic one, not recently.
Okay, how historic? I'm curious.
That was he was actually sentenced in 1844.
A long time, much more than 20 years ago.
Just a few years, yeah.
But a lot of anger linked to him, where he feels that what he did, there was nothing wrong with what he did, that he believes it was justified, it's like, why am I here? Why was I tried? Why have I been tried? You have no right to try me. I am completely right in what I did. How dare you? It is how dare you try me?
Oh, you just looked as if you'd gone off into a trance there for a moment, Janet. What was going through your mind?
No, I just have a lady with me, the lady Helen. I've just been communicating with her. Quite an attractive lady, slim, probably about 30s, I don't know, I'm not sure of her age. But she was in the 1900s. And I can't quite make out, I would say something like 1950s, 1960s by the way that she's dressed. She said that she said she was a murderer, but not in the way as people portrayed her. She must have murdered, she talks about murdering a man, so I would assume it's her husband or a lover or whatever. She says only the one, she says it like that. She also had very, very slender hands, very small fingers, and she said she was talking about a few more years and I would have been okay. So I don't know whether this was to do with whether hanging was when it was stopped or whatever, because she said a few more years and I would have been okay. So the time
would have made the difference then. Yeah. And Dave, are you picking up on anything more? Is there anything?
Yeah, I'm actually still picking up on the spirit that I thought was only 20 years ago, but now would appear that it's actually it is 120 years ago or so ago, because the spirit. While you've been talking to Janet, I've just been talking to Carly, and everything that I've been picking up is in fact the same case that was tried in 1840, whatever it is. And what I'm sensing about him is that the people that he killed were of a different station to himself. That he was angry, he was disaffected. He felt that he almost felt that he'd had things stolen from him, and this is why he was going after them. I've got the name on the tip of my tongue, but he feels that it was righteous because he had stuff stolen from him, and this is what it was. They took from him, and they shouldn't have taken from him, so he went after them. And the name is. It's right on the tip of my tongue, and it's just so nearly there, and I can see him. He's got like a collarless shirt with like a neckerchief around his neck, and when he was caught, and he is of a completely different station to the people that he killed. And his name, I can't get his name, and he's telling me, and I can't hear it, and
So you.
And I can't. I can't get his name, and he's here, and he's angry, and he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't know why he was caught. He doesn't know why he was sentenced, because they had no right to prosecute him. They had no right to convict him. Nothing at all.
Hold on a sec. We've just heard some sort of bang come from behind. Did you hear that bang, or was it coming from the other side? Is that a real bang, Andy?
There appears to be something banging on the other side of the door over there.
What's on the other side of that door, Carly?
That's actually our disabled lift through there. So if you open the door, it should actually be open.
If we venture round.
Okay, we'll go through here. Yeah, you can open it up.
Caroline, you glanced over here before you heard that bang. What did you see?
I don't know. I just...
I was aside from the group while you were all talking
Yeah.
there, and 2 or 3 times this door has banged.
Yeah.
Because it's distracted my attention from what's going on. There's been a definite noise.
I'd heard the bang and looked over to Andy to see if he heard it too. And it seems that we both did. Had you heard anything else coming from down this corridor?
No, I mean, it's literally just been the door has gone twice, and then I was stood up, and that was when it was loud enough that you heard it as well. The one thing I did notice when I came through here was there was a temperature drop. It's colder out here than it is in there.
See, I was absolutely frozen in there. I was absolutely frozen in there. It's been... let's try and get Janet out here or somebody. Janet, can you come out here and see if you can pick up on anything out here that's been creating this banging noise? So which part are we in? We're just in the corridor outside the courtrooms now. This is from where the banging was coming from, Janet.
Right. It was just with the metal. Oh, it's a big door.
That was us banging then. So.
Right. He's gone in now. So we'll have to go in. Which is the... I was just picking up on the gentleman in the kilt.
Right.
And he was banging on the door, and then he's just gone in. So I don't know who this gentleman is, but he was a bit... Are we okay with that? Yeah.
Is there anything coming? Because whilst I've been sat here, I don't know, because you've been standing behind as well, Andy. Have you been attracted over to this area over here at all?
I think the main one that's been attracting us is the balcony that's actually to our right-hand side, because myself and actually a couple of the crew have been looking up there, and we've been distracted. We know there's a couple of mannequins up there, but we have actually seen a third figure up there, which seems to move along the back.
Right. So you've got, and we've got somebody else pointing over here. So Adam, you've glimpsed things over in this bit, have you?
I've been looking up there often. I've even shone the torch up there a couple of times because I just kept seeing a shadow. And then here, just caught the corner of my eye a couple of times, just like there was some swift movement in like the second row.
So as we can see, there's mannequins up there. So you've seen the shadow go between the mannequins and go around there. Because I caught where Dave saw somebody up there earlier. I'd caught somebody in this bit here. So I suppose it's feasible that they were walking around. So who would sit in this part of the courtroom then?
This, from what I'd gathered, would be the family and friends, wouldn't it?
Right.
Watching the court proceedings. And hang on,
Right.
if we move around towards Janet, who's literally sat on the second row, which is where we've seen activity tonight. Janet, what are you feeling?
Well, I feel like somebody's... it's as though my heart's just thumping and thumping and thumping. I feel that somebody might have been in so much shock that they may have died actually here.
Well, while they were watching the court
While they were
proceedings?
watching, yeah. It must have been so distressing for them. I feel like it's the heart's just... My heart feels like it's like that. As though I would be having a heart attack. And I feel that somebody...
Is it me, or if you follow this row round, it just looks like there's a shadow on the very last seat. I don't know. Could be my eyes playing tricks on me again.
The light actually that's there.
So we think then that it was the same kind of spirit that was moving around then in this particular block. So Dave seems to have picked up on something in the background over there is very animated. What we're going to do is we'll go to a quick break, and then we'll discover what it is that he's getting so animated about. It's Fright Night Brmb.
Brmb Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
Brmb Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
Well, here we are then, Halloween just about over now for another year. Do you know, I've never felt so drained doing one of these before, ever.
Don't take offence at this next comment, but you look absolutely awful.
Thank you very much for that,
You
Jay.
you do look as though you've...
In your
it's
capacity as my
almost-
best friend, I'm
yeah.
really appreciative of that remark.
It's almost a cross between that you look as though you've run a marathon, you're absolutely drained
I
of
have
all
never,
energy.
ever felt like this. Do you know what I mean? It's...
How rude. Sack that producer.
It's been one of the, ever since that happened, you know, where I kind of like lost it a bit down in wherever room we were. I can't remember where it was. Yeah.
It seems weird that after each one of these Fright Nights something worse happens, and I didn't think after Drayton Manor we could do anything else or see anything else after we literally saw the ghost and we
Yeah.
felt it around us. But this time for actually one of us to be taken ill.
Yeah.
And physically your legs just went from beneath you and you just collapsed. If there was nobody here to fall on, you'd have had concussion by now.
You know, when you see those cartoons and, you know, you've got somebody, like, you've got the character, we're back to Scooby-Doo again, where
Yeah.
the energy's been sucked out and you see them sort of like turn into... That is how I felt earlier on this evening.
That's how I was feeling. I mean, fortunately, I know how to protect myself. But I felt myself going. It was like I was... I know that you shoot me at one stage, didn't you? And I remember, I don't know how much time I'd lost in that time, but he was doing the same even with me.
That was
so
the
if
thing.
you could do that to somebody who knows how to protect themselves, really.
Can you assure me that he is not here now and I will not take that person home?
No, he's left behind here. He enjoys too much doing what he does here to women.
And especially after I confronted him. I don't want him following me.
You were very manly. You were very... I was impressed.
It's only because I had Janet and Dave next to me. Can you imagine me on my own? You big
dear.
bully.
So I think that all that remains is for us to say thank you to everybody here at the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham for having us tonight.
I've got to say, it's a brilliant museum. If you're ever in the Nottingham area, pop down and see it, because it's just brilliant. But
There's so much that I think that we need to sort of carry on looking around. We've run out of time on the broadcast,
Yeah.
but maybe we'll spend another hour or so taking Janet and Dave into little dungeon bits and all the rest of it. And until the next Fright Night.
which is being planned as we speak.
Mm-hmm. And this
What will happen then?
Oh, I don't know, but apparently it's one of the scariest places that you can go to in this country.
And I was a witch in my past life.
Oh,
God. So hang
dear.
on, they've possessed Janet, they've overshadowed Dave, they've made you collapse. Is it my turn next?
I think it is.
Oh no, I'm ill next time.
I think it is. So thank you very much to Janet Crawford.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much to Dave Matthews, we're summing up in the courtroom at the moment, an appropriate place to do it, and we've lost him. He's gone off on one over there. Thank you very much, Dave.
Yeah, put the wigs down, Dave.
And also to Andy, and also to Carly as well. Adam, the producer, and everybody else that's come along tonight to produce. Have I missed anybody out apart from Dan?
Apart from Dan. And Phil.
Oh, Phil, no, I was saving him till last. We couldn't. Phil is the engineer, and we could never do this without him. He is absolutely golden. We love him to pieces.
Yeah.
Why didn't I get one then?
Because it's still in the car.
Oh, lovely. Very nice indeed. And Kevin, he's over at Dudley Castle. We've lost all contact with Kevin.
He's probably throwing up somewhere at the
Maybe
cottage.
Ben, who's on next for Total Request Nighttime on BRMB, maybe Ben will be able to contact him between now and 1 o'clock with a bit of luck, him and Pauline.
Did you tell Ben about the spirits that haunt the studio?
He doesn't need to know.
Right, okay, keep that one between ourselves.
Okay, good night.
Dare you listen? Fright Night.
Live from Dudley Castle and the Galleries of Justice.
96.4 BRMB, Birmingham.
Help needed urgently. You must love toys, reindeers, and be under 4 foot.